listening to Sports Talk 916 with Greg Bull and Coach Greg Veroza.
If you'd like to participate in the show, there are a couple of ways to do it. If you want to contact us on Twitter, use the show's Twitter address, which is @SportsTalk916. For Greg B, go to @MrChief916. And for me, Coach Greg, it's @Greg Veroza. And Veroza is VAROZZA. And if you want to chat live with us, the best place to go is go to the Mixler page and hit chat. There you'll see all of us chatting together as the show goes on.
All right, not sure how Greg does this, but what's up, everybody? It is Sports Talk 916, Season 4, Episode 21. You'll notice that Mr. Veroza again is not here. His Del Norte Dolphins are currently taking in the state championships this weekend, so he's been out at the pool all weekend. We are joined again by the wonderful TJ the Sports Geek.
Hey now.
TJ, what's up, buddy?
Oh, you know, this and that and then some.
Let me see this guy here. So, welcome back.
Thank you.
It seems like you're becoming more of a regular, which is awesome.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
And we have a good one tonight. So, fittingly, since you're here and you are a big New England Patriots fan.
Yes.
And football is, believe it or not, and albeit it's preseason, but football is a week away.
Yeah, I was surprised when you told me that. I was like, wait, really?
Preseason game
Next
1,
week?
the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio, is the Green Bay Packers versus the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, that'll be a good one.
And this officially marks the final Sunday between now and February that we do not have to worry about no football.
Very nice.
So we'll get into that. We are going to preview the AFC East. Will be our first preview of the NFL season. As the season gets closer, we might have to double up the divisions. But tonight, AFC East, primarily, we're going to talk about the San Francisco Giants ad nauseum tonight. Because that's what it does. It makes me nauseous because they're playing like absolute donkey shit right now. And we'll discuss that. What they need to do in the next less than 12 hours. Oh, a little bit more than 12 hours now until the trade deadline. We'll talk about the move that they did make. I'm thinking this guy's, a little bit Dominican. He might be able to pitch. We don't know. He needs to know how to pitch. Today's a big day in Giants history for two reasons. We'll get to that in a little bit. We'll do bingo or bullshit. We'll do little headlines, but it's mostly going to be football talk. We're going to cover the entire AFC East. So we got four teams to cover. I got some notes on them we're going to take care of, and it's going to be a good one. So first and foremost, TJ, how do you like the new setup?
I love this. When I walked in, I'm like, whoa! As we got the two desks here, and
yeah, had I had more time, like my wife and I, we meal prep for the week on Friday night or on Sunday nights, and the last minute I was like, ooh, I'm gonna do pulled pork. So I'm like, ooh, I got to throw this thing together in the crock pot, and then I ran out of time and I ate, and my dad showed up, and then my mother-in-law showed up, and it was like a little bit of a circus out there. So I was gonna put up some like soundproofing on the walls and different things too. So next week it'll even be a little bit more different. Hopefully Greg will be back and it'll be cool. But it's gonna be a good one tonight, man. I'm glad you're here. I really do appreciate it. Before we get started on sports talk, what's new at tjsportsgeek.com?
Well, I've got odds and ends coming up tomorrow. Got the NFL preview coming out on August 30th. I do one every year, which includes complete analysis for all 32 teams and a Super Bowl pick.
49ers. Oh, I thought we were playing Madden. Sorry. I actually have a 49er prediction. We'll get to that here. I'll put that at the end. And part of it's in my bingo or bullshit, actually. So there's that. So yeah, so obviously tjsportsgeek.com. If you go to our friends and affiliates pages on sportstalk916.com, you get a link to TJ's page. It's great. He's got a lot of good insight on there. It's a lot of fun reads. But we're gonna jump right into it. So let's hear from Corner Pub Sports real quick and the original Warrior Pack, and we'll jump right into the Giants.
All right.
What's up, everybody? We are Corner Pub Sports every week talking sports, beer, and beyond. You can find us live 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time on wildfireradio.com or stream us on cornerpubsports.com. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Corner Pub Sports.
We look forward to seeing you at the pub every Friday night. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, guys.
Hey guys, Greg here.
And Sheena, too.
We just wanted to take a minute of your time to tell you about this awesome local company who has helped us tremendously in the obstacle course racing world.
Seriously, we get banged up enough on these courses, and these products have saved us on many obstacles.
When Sheena and I were getting prepared for our first Spartan race last year, we found the original Warrior Pack and bought some of their gear. After a couple races, we loved their products so much, it was a no-brainer for us to join their race team.
Yeah, and we just completed another run at AT&T Park and finished blister-free thanks to their gloves. I wore the full-finger gloves and didn't even break a nail.
You are such a girl. Anyways, guys, go to originalwirepack.com and check out their stuff for all of your OCR needs. And don't forget to use code ST916 for 10% off all of your purchases. Again, that's www.originalwarriorpack.com. Pack is spelled P-A-K for all of your OCR needs. And we're back. We're talking San Francisco Giants now. We decided that we're going to throw in a fun little thing we did with Greg Veroza a couple weeks ago. Try it out with TJ. We're going to do the uncensored sport Madlibs a little bit later on in the show.
This should be fun. I'm kind of looking forward to this.
Sorry, I had you off. Say that again.
That should be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that as well. So, San Francisco Giants. Hold on. Did you model your new setup after what we saw Deuce and Morgan do at Bar West in Midtown Sacramento? If not, is that still a work in progress? So I have not ruled out the idea of us going live and doing a live show somewhere. But no, my setup is not mirrored after what Deuce and Mo set up. It is basically, so in a nutshell, basically what we did before is I had like a little L-shaped desk in my office, and we kind of crammed on the short side of it, and it was a little tight, and it was a little bit wonky. But now I have a 6-foot desk on the opposite side of all my work stuff, so there's a lot more room, a little bit more space between us. We can see what's going on. Like when I want to show Greg or TJ something funny on the computer, they don't have to walk all the way around. They can just swing around in the chair. It's a little bit more setup. And a big thanks to my buddy Matt, who's in the chat box, for coming over and helping me move these things and take them apart and take the house apart and different stuff to get the desk in here. So
yeah, there's a lot more room here. It's a lot roomier in here.
And the sound actually sounds a little bit better too. It's a little bit more acoustic.
Absolutely.
So this day in Giants history. So July 31st, 2010, the Giants send somebody Hernandez. I can't remember who the hell it was.
Aaron Hernandez?
No, it wasn't Aaron Hernandez. Hernandez and John Bowker, Sacramento native.
I remember John Bowker.
To Pittsburgh for...
I believe it was Javier Lopez.
Javier Lopez.
Yeah.
And then in 2012, on July 31st, the Giants make a deal with the Philadelphia Phillies for...
Hunter Pence.
Hunter Pence.
I remember that. I believe they sent Nate Shearholtz over there.
They sent Shearholtz, who now is reincarnated as Mac Williamson, and a few other guys. So big days. So hopefully Bobby Evans and Sabian will get together in the next 4 hours or 3 hours and 45 minutes and pull off another big deal on July 31st and make some moves, because the Giants need some arms.
Yes, they do.
And it's been a little surprising that they haven't made any moves. So we'll get to that here in just a second. But the All-Star break, talk about a buzzkill.
Big time.
Like, what happened to these guys? They're rolling through everybody. They seemingly can't get beat. They lose 7 games in the month of May combined.
Yeah.
They roll into All-Star break with the best record in baseball. They're up 6.5 on the Dodgers in the West. And I said it the day after the All-Star game. Cueto got rocked during the All-Star game. And Veroza and I believe a few other people in the chat box were like, oh, don't really worry about it. It's the All-Star game. No big deal.
I think I was one of those people that said that.
He comes out in San Diego and gets lit up again.
Yeah.
The rest of the team just goes flat. What are they, 3? Now they're 4-10 since the break started?
Yes, I believe they are.
And they're up 3 games now in the West, I believe.
They are still at 2. The Dodgers did win today.
Okay, so 2 games.
So no ground gain whatsoever.
As a Giants fan, obviously it's a little bit disheartening to see what's going on. But, are you worried?
I am a bit, absolutely. I've been one of those guys that's just been like praying, hoping, wishing for just a win somewhere. And to see these guys not play up to their potential or play as good as they should be doing, it's been hard. I think no harder than on Friday night when Brandon Crawford hits into a 3-3-5 triple play, the first in MLB history.
Yeah, first time in Major League Baseball history, the first baseman gets 2 of the 3 outs in a triple play and then throws across the diamond to third.
Oh.
And it's just like, and at that point, if you look at the body language of the guys, man, you look at Posey, you look at, the guys that are on base, you're like, these guys are deflated. These guys are throwing in the towel.
That's what it felt like following the Friday night game, at least.
And then, they make a deal on Thursday, I believe it was. And they give up Meja and one other person. No, just Meja.
I believe it was Adalberto Mejia, yeah.
Yeah, Mejia, who was doing great in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And they trade for Eduardo Nunez. And, Nunez is batting .300. He was the Twins' only All-Star. At shortstop, he played every position in the infield except for first base. He had 26 stolen bases, which led the American League. He's a great pickup. But my question is why?
Yeah.
So they bring him in essentially to play third base because he's not taking over for Panic, who was back on that day. He came back in that game off the DL after the concussion.
Yeah.
Crawford's there. And, I text my contact with the River Cats, and I'm like, why? And he's like, we're baffled. We don't know. Duffy's scheduled to be here this weekend, which he is.
Yes, he is.
And it's like, why would you bring in an all-star guy to be a utility infielder? Now, maybe he could play left field.
Yeah.
There's been talks about him maybe sliding out to left because Span keeps getting beat up a little bit. And obviously, you kind of want to have Pagan healthy through the rest. But then 2 days later, Pence is back, so you don't have an extra outfielder now. And that's why I was like, well, maybe he's Dominican. He's Dominican. Maybe he can pitch. Maybe he can be the new late inning reliever. And it's baffling. Like Crawford's a little bit beat up. Nunez started the last 2 games at shortstop and hit leadoff, which is nice. It takes a lot of pressure off of Span and Pagan, but I don't see the need for that.
That's exactly kind of how I felt too when that trade was made. When I saw on Thursday on my phone the notification said, "Oh hey, the Giants have traded for Eduardo Nunez." I'm like, why? He's not a pitcher. He doesn't pitch in the late innings. We don't need that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. And then you kind of start thinking about it, and Duffy coming back soon, and Panic back, and Pence back. That's a lot like a trade. Like those are basically guys that have been out for some time. Panic was on the 15-day deal twice with the concussion. Right. Pence was gone for 6.5 weeks. Duffy's been gone for a while with the Achilles. He's finally coming back. So those are essentially like new pieces coming in, and it kind of blows your mind because you look at all these relievers. Like they were linked to Andrew Miller. They were linked to Aroldis Chapman.
Right.
They were linked to Casimir, right? No, who was it?
I think Melancon from the Pirates was
right. But who's the guy that just got traded to Tampa from San Diego?
Cashner.
Cashner. I was thinking Cashner.
To Miami.
Yeah, or to Miami. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like they were linked to all these different guys, and then nothing happens. And then on the last show we talked about it. Chapman was supposed to be there, and he goes to the Cubs, which makes the Cubs that much harder. And I was like, okay, well, ball's in your court, Giants. Like, now you have to do something. And during our show last week, there was reports all over the place that Andrew Miller wasn't available. The Yankees weren't going to trade him.
That's what I was thinking.
And then he goes to the Indians. And, albeit the Yankees they built their future up with 2 trades like you wouldn't believe. Like, they got 3 of 4 guys they really were in the Futures game this year at the All-Star game. And they're good players, but apparently the Giants were in deep talks with the Yankees for Miller. And, goddamn, I'm drawing a blank. Who the hell's their GM out there?
Brian Cashman.
Yeah, Cashman. Apparently he was asking for a Giant starter.
Ooh.
A starting field player. And they didn't. The Giants, Bobby Evans was asked about it. He wouldn't give the name of the player, but basically it was an indefinite, he's not available. So, they were probably asking for my guess, if I had to put a guess on who it was Brandon Belt. Because Mark Teixeira, they're trying to get rid of him. They're trying to get him off the books.
Yeah, he's like 78 years old.
You bring in a Brandon Belt to anchor the outside of that lineup in the Yankee Stadium. That's a pretty good. And then you have the short porch and left. It makes sense to try to get a Brandon Belt. Thank God the Giants were like, no. we're not doing it.
Yeah, not only that, Belt's signed long term in San Francisco.
Mike says, correct me if I'm wrong. What?
Oh yeah, I just saw this.
Yeah, but what did he say that?
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Did it not? Oh, here we go. There was one trade, I believe, between the San Diego and Toronto. I forget the players involved, but it happened when the teams were
Melvin
playing
Upton
each other.
Jr.
Found it weird players switch clubhouses the middle of the series. No. I actually kind of like it when they switch middle of the series. A good example of that was 2010. The Giants are playing Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And they finished the series. And this is the end of the series, not in the middle of the series, but they finished game 3 of the series. The Giants had won, and word comes down that the Giants had traded for Freddie Sanchez, second baseman of the Pirates.
Oh, that's right.
And he basically just had to mosey on over from the visitor clubhouse through the tunnels, and he was at the Giants clubhouse, and he was in town for the homestand. So, I mean, it's weird in a sense if it happens like mid-game, but if it's after the game or even in the middle of the series, it makes sense for the clubs because they're already there. They don't have to wait for travel. They just get the guys and they're ready to go, which is cool.
Another trade that happened that same year was Mike Fontenot with the Cubs.
Yep.
He went from one clubhouse to the next. I'm with you on that. I think it's pretty neat when two teams do that.
So
it's kind of fun.
But I mean, hopefully the Giants will start making a move. I mean, they need to go after a break, or they need to go after an arm. I mean, and the deadline's tomorrow at noon. So noon East or noon Pacific,
1 p.m. Eastern, I believe.
Yeah,
so 10 a.m.
10 a.m. here. So I'm sure Bobby Evans and Brian Sabian, although he's not in the GM role, will be working the phones because I can't imagine they're going to...
Come on, guys. Make my break time on Monday worth it.
Yeah, they can't make my work time worth it. I'm going to be refreshing Twitter like a fucking madman.
Oh, gosh. I wish I could. I've got customers to serve, unfortunately. But
yeah, so do I. But you know what? It's trade deadline. Well, first of all, let me preface this with... Major League Baseball's trade deadline is the most bullshit trade deadline on the planet.
Oh, no question.
It's the non-waiver deadline, so that means we can trade people. Oh, wait, you didn't get a deal done by 10 a.m.? Well, guess what? Just make a trade, and then they have to clear waivers in 8 hours. And, no one wanted that guy, so he's going to clear waivers. It's like the dumbest. Why even call it a deadline?
Why have a deadline?
Right, just make a trade.
Yeah, I've been against that for a long time, so yeah.
So... if there's anybody out there that you've seen in rumors, and I'll pull up some Giants rumors here in a second. Is there anyone that you're hoping that they make a run at? And actually, let me, before you answer that, I keep saying Sabian Evans. He made it a point though that after they got Nunez, that they were going to shift their focus to relief pitching, but the market has thinned out so much that they're open to any trade that makes the team better at this point. So if they can get position players as backups, if they could get starting pitching, relief pitching, it doesn't matter. They're looking to do so. So are there any rumors that you've seen that excite you a little bit?
I think the only one that I've really seen that could make any sense is maybe trying to go after Will Smith from the Milwaukee Brewers. I don't really know what they're asking for, but maybe
Will Smith and Jeremy Jeffress apparently are two guys that the Giants are talking to the Brewers about.
Right.
Barnbaum, which trade deadline is the most exciting to you both? The NBA? No, honestly, and as lame as it sounds, Major League Baseball's trade deadline is the most exciting, even though it's the most ridiculous.
Yes.
Because the NBA, there's not usually a lot of trades. The trades that happen in the NBA are happening on draft night. Mm-hmm. The deadline, unless it's a clear dump, like next season when the Kings aren't winning and they have to trade DeMarcus Cousins, you're going to know it's coming. So then it's just going to be a matter of, okay, what are you getting and who's he going to go to? Like, there's no surprise when a player gets traded.
Right.
Major League Baseball, Nunez wasn't even on the Giants' radar.
No.
You're like, what the hell? Or in the situation with the Indians. The Indians, they get Andrew Miller, they're pumped, and then they go all in on Jonathan Lucroy, only to find out that Lucroy has 5 teams on his no-trade clause, the Indians being one of them, and he vetoes the trade. He's like, nope, not going to Cleveland.
Yeah.
And I cannot imagine what it would be like to be a fan of a team, and you're like, oh, we just got Lucroy. He's one of the best catchers in baseball.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, he doesn't want to come here. I mean, and why wouldn't you want to leave Milwaukee for Cleveland? I mean, I know it's Cleveland, but at least the Indians have a history of being a successful team for the most part. You're not going to the Browns.
Yeah.
Maybe he got confused. He's like, Cleveland? Hell no.
Yeah. A friend of mine and me were kind of going over it today of why Lucroy wouldn't want to go to Cleveland. Maybe he prefers the National League more than the American League. Who knows?
That could be it.
That could be. That was maybe the only thought in my mind as to why he would veto that trade. I would go for it in a heartbeat.
Giants are pursuing Tampa Bay Rays Matt Moore.
Okay.
I can see that.
I could see that too.
This was 19 minutes ago, so that's somewhat fresh. Ken Rosenthal is reporting that. I trust Rosenthal.
He's got a bow tie. How can you not trust him?
I hate his fucking bow tie. I talked about that last week.
I remember that, yeah.
Oh, we forgot to do a top 5 list this week. Oh, well.
That's right. We got Madlibs coming up.
We do have Madlibs coming up. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, so, I mean, hopefully the Giants are active. I don't want them to make a trade just to make a trade, though. I want them to do something right.
Yeah. To paraphrase Rick James, don't do things just to do things.
Right, exactly. So, Giants are no longer pursuing Jeremy Hillickson. Good.
That's fine.
Yeah, Jay Bruce is still on the Giants' radar. But again, why? Why would you need him?
What for? Yes.
The only thing that makes sense that I read about Jay Bruce is you have a big bat that you can put out there for the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And it allows you to not worry about losing Angel Pagan next year.
Exactly.
Because he's under contract another couple years.
That's
you
true.
have a big bad outfielder that replaces Angel Pagan. But I'm not sure how I feel about that. I was at Progressive Field back on Friday in Cleveland. It sits immediately next to the Quicken Loans Arena. Quite a neat downtown. Mike, what were you doing out there?
Yeah, I saw pictures of that, Mike.
Just kind of curious what the hell you're doing in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I mean, Cleveland rocks and all, but I don't know why. Oh, yes. My Mad Lib is going to be the coach's pep talk.
There you go. Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bookmark that page here. And by the way, Mad Libs is going to be a vulgar version of Mad Libs because I have a bunch of crazy shit in my mind right now. So, like I said earlier, I mean, as a Giants fan, how worried are you right now about the way things are going?
I'm semi-worried. And I say that now because they've won two in a row. However, I'm just like, oh geez, what if we don't make a move? What if we stand pat and nothing happens? What are we gonna do?
Here's what worries me: Bochy is the most extreme loyalist in baseball.
Oh, no question.
You do something good for Bruce Bochy, you're on his good list. Unfortunately, Santiago Casilla and Sergio Romo, both, who are not pitching well at all right now, have both closed games in the World Series for the Giants. And that speaks volumes because they were talking about Cashner, about bringing him as a reliever. And they're like, could he be a potential closer? And they're like, well, what does he have that's better than Casilla or Romo? He's never closed in a World Series. And that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
And Casilla's looking better. I mean, the last couple games he's looking a lot better, but I can't help but think about the games he's blown the last couple weeks.
I said on Facebook earlier, I'm watching the rest of this game through my fingers because Casilla was coming in the ninth.
Barnbaum's listening from Ohio. Mike, just put it on speakerphone or blare your speakers, dude, and get some people out there listening. Start spreading the word, producer Mike. Well, let's hope the Giants make some news, and if I see anything come through on the Twitters, we'll definitely break it in. Right. But that's pretty much what I have there. So we're going to go ahead and hear from Greg Veroza and Crandall's Cleaning Service, and we're going to do bingo or bullshit.
If you or anyone you know is thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, they deserve to have someone working with them that not only knows what they're doing, but will explain everything that happens along the way. That person would be me, Coach Greg Veroza of Keller Williams Realty. I have two goals. My first goal is to coach you through the buying and selling process, making it easy to understand and as stress-free as possible, which isn't easy sometimes. My second goal is to have fun doing it. Come be a part of my team. Let me coach you or anyone you know through the real estate process. Give me a call at 916-241-8068, and let's talk about how I can coach you through the real estate process. Let me ask you one question. Who do you know that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate that I should know right now? Again, that's Greg Veroza, Keller Williams Realty, 916-241-8068. Hey, man, what's up with the studio? It looks so much cleaner than the last time. I know I haven't been here in a week or so, but what the hell happened?
You know, I just got tired of cleaning it myself, so I finally gave Crandall's Cleaning Service a call. They came out. Looks like this.
Damn, they did a good job.
Yeah, I mean, they're amazing. Fully licensed staff came out, gave me a quick estimate, knocked it out in a couple hours, and they're going to come back on a monthly service.
What, are they going to do the rest of the house, or do that couple hours just cover the office?
A couple hours cover the office. That's all I had them quote for. But they do whole houses. They do offices. They do home stagings. They do everything.
Cool.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you want your house clean, give them a call, 916-952-3620. Ask for Nick. Let them know Sports Talk 916 sent you. Like I said, they'll come out. They'll give you a special quote. They'll do monthly, bi-weekly, weekly, whatever it is you need for all your cleaning needs. They're fully licensed and insured. They'll take care of you the right way.
Sweet. I'm calling tomorrow.
Awesome. Remember, that's Crandall's Cleaning Service, 916-952-3620. It is now time for bingo.
Was that a bingo?
Bingo! A bingo!
Bingo!
I've got a bingo!
Bingo! Bingo!
Bingo!
Or bullshit. So now that TJ can actually hear the show, because his headphones were turned down and he didn't think to mention it 28 minutes into the show, now we have full participation from TJ. TJ, you're going to go first as our guest. Bingo or bullshit?
All right. Bingo or bullshit number 1, with Gaylord Perry getting a statue next month and his number 36 already retired for the Giants. Will Clark should be the next to get his number 22 retired. Bingo or bullshit?
He's going to be the next to get his number retired?
Yeah, Will Clark should be the next guy.
Oh, Will the Thrill?
Bingo!
He should be. That or Bonds. It's got to be one of the two. I love Will the Thrill. He's one of my favorite players. I have his jersey hanging up in my closet. It's kind of weird for me to wear it though because it's my wife's maiden name, and it makes me feel really knocked down a peg when I'm wearing her name on my back. But he needs to be. I mean, he was a pivotal part of the Giants' run through the 90s and in the late 80s and 90s. And you know, if you're not going to retire Clark, it's got to be 25.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so sick and tired of the Giants sidestepping Bonds.
Yeah, it's not like they issue the number anymore.
Yeah, no one wears the number, so
Yeah.
why not retire him?
I mean, Jake Peavy's wearing number 22 right now.
And you know what's cool about Peavy though is so Whiteside wore it, Whiteside and Peavy both, and I believe Mike Leake wore it before Peavy came in.
No, Peavy had it all along.
Okay, so who the hell am I thinking? Oh, Leake had 43.
Oh, Dan Ugla had it.
Ugla had it. That's who it was.
That 1 week that we had Dan Ugla,
Yeah,
which I was there to see. God damn it.
So of those three guys, Peavy and Whiteside both asked permission from Will Clark to wear the number.
I didn't know that.
Ugla did not. And that's why he sucked balls, because Will Clark cursed him.
That's probably it.
Right. All right, bingo or bullshit. Barring a last-minute deal, Bobby Evans is having his worst deadline since taking over for Brian Sabian.
I'm going to say bingo right now.
Bingo.
Just because this is the latest I've seen the Giants even try to make a deal as far as the trade deadline is concerned. Either that or it's just really that tough to get a good deal done to improve your squad.
Exactly.
Yeah. Want me to go next?
Yep.
All right. Bingo or bullshit. Ray Rice will be on an NFL roster this season.
Ray Rice is in my headlines. Do I want him to be, or do I think he will be?
Do you think he will be? Same.
I don't think so. I want him to be. I think he deserves to be. He's done his time. He's gone to numerous public events speaking against what he did. He's been out of football for over a year. It's time to bring him back. If Hardy can be in the league, if
Trent Richardson can land an NFL spot.
Yeah, if Richardson's still playing, if Greg Hardy, who beat his girl and paid her off to shut up about it, can be in the NFL, then why the hell can't Ray Rice? You know what I mean? And I mean, we could skip ahead to headlines, but I mean, Ray Rice he offered to donate his entire salary this season if a team picks him up to a domestic violence charity to prove that he's grown up from the event. And to me, that's honorable as hell to be willing to give up 100% of whatever a team pays him. Here's what I would do. If I was an owner of a team, just to stick it to him, because technically it's a charitable pay at that time, I would offer him a 1-year, $100 million deal. I'd be like, donate it, just to see if he's serious. But I think he would
put his money where his mouth is.
And I think he should be back in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not afraid that him being 29 would turn off a lot of teams?
No, because look what Frank Gore did when he was,
True.
He's 20. Look at Adrian Peterson. He took a year off with a knee and came back and was amazing.
Yeah.
Ray Rice took a year off without getting hit. He didn't do anything with football related. I mean, take a hit, pun intended.
Right.
But I really need to know where my this thing is.
I see what you did there.
Why not let him back? I mean, he's not going to be he's going to be a good running back for you, even if he's a split back. Split him out with somebody.
Yeah, make him your third down back if you have
the Steelers need a running back. Le'Veon Bell's going to be suspended.
Yeah, again.
I don't know. I think he should be back in the league, though. All right, bingo or bullshit. As the NFL nears, it is safe to prepare for the 49ers to be the number 1 draft pick in the 2017 NFL draft.
I want to say bingo on this, but the Cleveland Browns still are an NFL team. So
does it make me a bad Niner fan to think that the Browns are going to win more games than the Niners this year?
No, not at all. Because that very well could happen. But in this instance, I'm going to say bullshit on this because the Browns don't have anybody. The Browns have no QB. They have no running back. They don't have anybody to speak of on the roster. At least the Niners have some talent on the roster. How that talent's going to be used, we don't know. I mean, Chip Kelly could very well turn this franchise team into a 7-9 squad for
I know that wasn't your bingo or bullshit question, but I'm calling bullshit on that one.
Okay.
All right, you're up.
Bingo or bullshit, Jared Goff and Paxton Lynch will both be named Week 1 starters.
Bingo.
Goff is a no-brainer. He's gonna.
Yeah.
That's the franchise. They're rebuilding in LA. They're gonna start Goff. I just can't, as knowing anything and everything about football, I cannot see butt fumble as a starting quarterback in the NFL anymore. Mark Sanchez cannot start, and if you're the Broncos, you cannot roll Mark. You cannot go from Peyton Manning, Brock Osweiler, Peyton Manning to Mark Sanchez. You can't.
No.
You leveraged your future. Taking Paxton Lynch, who I wish the Niners would have fucking manned up and moved up to get.
Seriously.
You leverage your future on him.
Yeah.
You basically came in and said you're the predecessor, or you're the heir, the replacement of the throne to Peyton Manning.
Yeah. Not only that. Yeah, not only that, we've seen a growing trend in recent years of rookie quarterbacks getting the job right away, as evidenced with Marcus Mariota and Jameis Winston, who had unbelievable seasons last year.
Right.
And they were phenomenal. I think Paxton Lynch and Jared Goff would be great.
Yeah, all right. Final one. In fantasy football, the offensive players to avoid in your draft will suit up for the Cleveland Browns and the San Francisco 49ers, respectively.
Oh, bingo.
Bingo.
Is there much to say about that?
Can you rely on any of those starters right now, except for maybe Carlos Hyde?
I was just gonna say Carlos Hyde, perhaps. Yes.
And then maybe Gordon if he gets back in the league, because I think he's gonna be back. If the Browns bring him back, he may have something to prove, and I think him and RG3 could be a hell of a combination in Cleveland.
I forgot Robert Griffin III was there.
Yeah, so
Holy crap.
I honestly, late in our rounds at our draft, which by the way is August 28th at Buffalo Wild Wings, if you want to come out and watch. Is honestly, I may take a late quarterback on RG3, just because you never know. I mean, what does he have to lose? I mean, aside from his knees.
Yeah, and a Subway endorsement.
So terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I could maybe see picking up Torrey Smith in the later rounds.
Torrey
or as a waiver wire gem. Maybe.
He's the only wide receiver the 49ers have.
Yep.
Anquan Bolden just signed with Detroit.
Yep.
The Niners literally have nobody.
Uh-huh.
Chip Kelly's an idiot. you have a high-powered offense and you're throwing it to me and you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, dude, get a fucking receiver. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And obviously we'll get to that when we get to the NFC West. But
What you don't get is a fucking punter.
A fucking punter!
God, I love that.
I do too.
That's still one of the best sounds ever. All right, you know what we're going to do? Before we get to football talk and headlines, we're going to do Madlibs. I thought I had hold on. Let me see if I have an audio. I thought I made a song for it. I don't know if I did, though.
I like songs.
This is great radio, by the way.
Absolutely.
I don't know where it is. Anyways, let's do Madlibs. Hold on. When it comes to football, is Seattle still San Francisco's number one arch rival to you two? It is to me as I look at it more from a Kings fan perspective. We fought so hard against Seattle to keep our team. Does the perspective make sense to the 49ers fan? I see Seattle as a bigger rival than the Rams any given day.
I see it as a rival, or as the biggest rivalry right now, but of all time, I would say it's the Niners and the Rams.
Here's the way I look at it. The Niners are fucking terrible. Mm-hmm. They don't have a rival. It's just like the Kings. The Kings don't have a rival.
No.
Anyone that says the rival is Golden State is an idiot. The Kings don't even hold a match to Golden State. You can't have a rivalry.
Yeah, same with the Lakers. There's no rivalry with the Lakers.
No, that died. That died in like 03 or 4 when the teams both started to decline. Well, when the Kings started to decline and the Lakers still won championships. Seattle is the biggest thorn in San Francisco's side. And like you said, honestly, if you're going to look at the NFC West, the biggest rival to the 49ers is the Cardinals.
Oh, yeah.
Those two have the most heated games because if you look back the last couple of years when the Niners were good, because Seattle's been good for a number of years, you go to Seattle, the Niners destroyed them or get destroyed. You come down to San Francisco, it's the opposite. There's no parity. You know who's going to essentially win those games. And then in the playoffs, the Niners just lose to them. Arizona's the only team that they go back and forth with. Mm-hmm. So I would say the Cardinals are the biggest rivalry out of all of them. And there's no way to parallel Sacramento-Seattle. Sacramento-Seattle doesn't have a rivalry. Yeah. We just kept what was ours. There's no rivalry there.
Exactly.
That was fucking big buzz.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
Oh, the Cubs score 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning to force extras against the Mariners.
Awesome.
All right, so here's how this Madlibs is going to work, TJ.
Okay.
If you look at your little board there, you have your story, and it tells you plural, noun, number, adjective, whatever. You're going to go through and you're going to ask for those blanks from me without reading the sentences. So, like for mine, it says blank, blank, and then plural noun. So I'm going to say, okay, TJ, give me a plural noun.
Okay.
So give me a plural noun.
A plural noun, shoes.
All right. So then I would just go through and I'd fill in all my blanks, and then once I fill in all my blanks, again, try to be vulgar and funny. Okay. Then we'll go through and we'll read the whole thing. So, I'll start. So, shoes, and then give me a number.
28.
Adjective.
Sore.
Noun.
Noun. Dildo.
There we go. Now you're getting the hang of it. Adjective.
Adjective.
A word that describes something.
Yeah. Wet.
Noun.
Let's see here.
Let's play the Jeopardy theme song here in a minute. Come on now.
Ninja.
All right. An exclamation. So like a loud statement.
What the fuck?
Part of the body.
Part of the body. Ass.
Adjective.
Squishy.
Noun.
Noun. Let's see here. How about popsicle?
Interesting. Adverb.
Adverb. Oh. That's a word like likely or
I believe so, yeah.
Likely.
I don't remember what an adverb is. Part of the body, plural.
Vaginas.
Nice. Noun.
Chicken.
And noun.
Let's see here. Bowling ball.
All right. This is the coach's pep talk. All right, shoes, listen up. It's the bottom of the ninth, and we're down by 28 runs. Okay, we know our opponents are a very sore team, and they're on a winning dildo right now, but we can't beat them. Some might say it would take a wet miracle for us to score a single ninja. To that I say, what the fuck? We all put on one ass at a time. It ain't over till the squishy lady sings. We can still win this popsicle, provided you think likely and play your vaginas out. Remember, you can do anything you put your chicken to. Now let's get out there and give it our best bowling ball. All right, so that's how that's going to work. So now you go ahead and go through your list.
Here we go. Plural noun.
Tits.
All right. Adjective.
Wet.
Adjective.
Slippery.
Part of the body.
Earlobe.
Verb.
Jump.
Adjective.
Hairy.
Person in the room, male.
TJ.
Celebrity.
Justin Bieber.
Beebs.
The Biebs.
The Beebs. Number.
11.
Plural noun.
Dicks.
Noun.
Eggplant. I gotta imagine Barn Bomb just cringing every time you say a word. He's like, oh God, not that noun.
Number.
You dirty guy, wait till Sheena hears from me on this. Number 643 billion.
I like that. Adjective.
Swollen.
Animal, plural.
Armadillos.
That's an interesting one. Verb.
Boinking.
Number.
1.
Adjective.
My favorite word ever, moist.
One of my friends hates that word.
Oh, I have so many friends that hate that word.
Oh my gosh. And noun.
Shoe.
Shoe. All right. All right, here we go. Quarterbacks are the tits of every football team. Everyone knows their names, even if they're only wet fans. Their jerseys are the most slippery sellers, and they're seen as earlobe throbs no matter what they jump like.
Earlobe throbs.
Here are some of the most hairy known quarterbacks in history. TJ Brady, more famous for marrying his wife, model Justin Bieber, than for the 11 championships he's won with the New England Dicks. Brett Favre, once a beloved member of the Green Bay Packers, but after retiring and then rejoining the NFL as a New York eggplant, he lost 643 billion fans. Dan Marino, a swollen quarterback for the Miami Armadillos, but never able to boink a Super Bowl.
That's accurate.
That is true. Joe Montana won one Super Bowl with the San Francisco 49ers and is famous for his moist play known as the shoe.
That's awesome. All right, I want to do one more just because this one's going to be cool.
Sounds good.
And then we'll move on. So, adjective. We'll do a speed round. Adjective.
Harry.
I said speed round, not plural noun.
Gophers.
I always write golfers. 11. A number.
48.
Part of the body.
Toes.
Noun.
Ketchup.
That's not how you spell ketchup. Part of the body, plural.
Titties.
Titties. Adjective.
Soft.
Noun.
Bank.
Exclamation.
What the hell, man?
What the hell, man? Verb past tense.
Scored.
Scored. Plural noun.
Panthers.
Plural noun. Plural noun.
Golfers.
Spelled gophers. I'm just kidding. Noun.
Orange.
Part of the body.
Hands.
Verb.
Catch.
Adverb.
Likely.
That's the only one we're going to go with.
That's the only one I know right
Noun.
now. Noun. Postage stamp.
Postage stamp. And last noun.
Farm.
All right, this one's called Give Me a Sign. Being a catcher isn't hairy as it looks. Not only do I have to catch gophers coming at me 48 miles an hour, I have to use toes signals to tell the pitcher which ketchup to throw, and those hard to memorize. Yesterday, for example, I wanted the first pitch to be a fastball, so I pointed to titties on the ground. To me, the soft pitcher threw a bank ball. What the hell, man? I cried as the ball scored right past me, allowing the Panthers to advance. Then there were two golfers on base, and the cleanup orange was at bat. I pointed hands to the ground, which means intentional catch, but instead of likely walking the batter, the pitcher threw a curveball. The batter hit it over the fence, and we lost. The postage stamp, you can see a catcher's farm is not an easy one. All right, that's enough of that.
That was fun.
All right, a lot of fun. So now what were we doing? We're going to move on to headlines. We're going to change it up to where next time we're just like, everything has to be raunchy. Nothing's fun. Or nothing normal. We now travel around the wide world of sports with this week's headlines. All right, as we said, it's going to be a lot of football stuff. So NFL camps opened up this week. The 49ers reported today. Most camps are in session. Mm-hmm. And as we talked about, the NFL is back next week.
Yes.
Let's see. DeAndre Hopkins ends his holdout.
Although
he's upset that the Texans will not discuss a contract extension with him, which I believe he should be upset because they should be talking a contract extension with DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown today said he wants a contract extension as well, and the Steelers aren't willing to talk to him yet, which doesn't make any sense.
Makes no sense. Sign that guy.
Talked about Ray Rice, who wants to donate his entire salary. Alden Smith posts out a video on Periscope going by an alter ego. He goes by a different name, Ricky.
Ricky?
I believe it was Ricky. And
Ricky James?
He put up a video of a hand with a joint and a female in the room talking, and of course he denies that it was him. He's already been suspended for substance abuse and denies it was him, and then 2 days later checks himself into rehab. We've talked about this guy before. He is literally the biggest waste of talent in the NFL.
Yeah.
Freak of nature, amazing football player, can't keep his damn head straight.
Do you remember last year when the Niners released him and there was that meme with Jim Carrey from the movie Liar Liar picking up the phone and he's all, "Stop breaking the law, asshole."
Yeah, no kidding. It's like, dude, you're a fucking dipshit. And really the only other headline I have besides baseball related stuff that we've already talked about is Amari Stoudemire announced his retirement.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And then it turns out that next season he's going to play in Israel for the team he owns.
I didn't know he even owned a team.
What better way to continue your career is to play for your own team? Who's going to tell you no?
Exactly.
If Brett Favre owned a team, he would still be quarterbacking at like 74 years old and probably still be better than Colin Kaepernick.
I do have a couple. Draymond Green was was busted for posting a dick pic on Snapchat.
Yeah, he says he hit the wrong button.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
To be fair, I mean, I can see how that could happen. But if you're sending a dick pic, you're going to be a little bit more cautious, especially as a celebrity.
Yeah.
So I can see it, but I'm calling bullshit on that one.
Same. And the Sacramento Kings will formally have their address be 500 David J. Stern Walk.
Stupid. I like the David J. Stern part of it, but calling it a walk is dumb to me.
I don't
call
understand
it something
that either.
else.
Yeah.
But
Street, was that not available?
I think it does make sense though. Without Stern, there is no Kings, there is no arena.
Yeah.
I like it, but it is kind of strange in that way. Another headline: Johnny Manziel said if he gets back in the NFL, he wants to play for the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, they don't want you, so forget it.
If there's one team in the NFL that will take the shot at Johnny Manziel, it will be dumbass Jerry Jones.
Yeah, probably.
That guy's a dipshit.
He doesn't learn his lesson, especially with Greg Hardy.
Right. Let's do one more commercial, Greg Veroza and DraftKings, and we're going to jump into the NFL. But first, we're going to reset Mixler. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. It'll be like 25 seconds. Not even. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000. 9 seconds.
9 seconds. Wow.
Hey, Sports Talk 916 listeners. Listen up. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the greater Sacramento area, then there's only one person that you should be calling. It's someone that you listen to every single week for sports advice, and it's time you listen to him for real estate advice as well. Give Greg Veroza of Keller Williams Realty a call, and he will hook you up with all the information you need. Give him a call at his office at 916-241-8068. I did it. My family did it. It was a great experience. Very seamless. Greg's very accommodating, and he'll find you the right home for you. So give him a call. You won't regret it. 916-241-8068. Greg Veroza of Keller Williams Realty, and tell him Sports Talk 916 sent you. Fantasy sport fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Over $1 billion will be won at DraftKings.com this year, and you could be the next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code SportsTalk916 to play for free. That's SportsTalk916 for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Should we just let this roll for 4 minutes?
If you want.
It feels so good to have it back.
This does feel great.
I feel like we're missing Greg Veroza, though.
Mike Crotch is popular with the animals.
All right.
I think the animals miss him, too.
NFL football is almost back. Hey, Corner Pub Sports. What's up, guys?
Corner.
Hashtag the Gregs. It's the Greg and TJ tonight. All right, let's talk AFC East. So we're going to start at the bottom of the barrel from last year. We're going to start with the Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins.
Finished the season 6-10 last year.
Yeah.
Notable losses: Lamar Miller, Olivier Vernon, Derek Shelby, Brent Grimes, Louis Delmas, and Rashard Matthews. They picked up Andre Branch, Isa Abdul-Qudus, and Mario Williams.
Like former number 1 overall pick Mario Williams?
That's who it is. They also traded for Byron Maxwell from the Eagles and Kiko Alonso from the Eagles as well.
Okay.
Drafted offensive tackle Laramie Tunzel.
Laramie Tunzel.
Cornerback Xavion Howard. Running back Kenyon Drake. Wide receiver Leonte Carew. And 6th-round draft pick Jakeem Grant.
Okay.
So, notable losses, some big pickups. I think the biggest addition to the offseason for the Miami Dolphins was after firing Joe Philbin, is bringing in Adam Gase.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gase was the former Denver Broncos and Chicago Bears offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. He's going to be their head coach this year. Brings success he had with working with quarterbacks, including Tim Tebow, Peyton Manning, and Jay Cutler, to Ryan Tannehill. The Dolphins have been a decade of mediocrity and will now be Gase's responsibility to end that trend. Biggest storyline headed into training camp, Ryan Tannehill. Will he finally provide that he is the answer for quarterback? The team has given him the freedom he did not have under Joe Philbin. They are reloading the offensive weapons with young players who should fit the scheme well, and they are working to get the offensive line puzzle finally solved. This should be the year that Tannehill can step up and prove he's a franchise QB. Do you feel that Tannehill can be that guy? I mean, he's had signs of that guy, but then for every 2 signs of that, he has 4 signs that he's a flop. So how do you feel about Ryan Tannehill? I mean, you see him twice a year.
Yeah, yes, we do. I think he's a very good quarterback. I just don't think he's had the right coach to lead him to the next level, and also hasn't been in the right system. And hasn't had nearly as much talent as he should to get the job done. But I think he can be very good. It's just a matter of when.
So another storyline headed to training camp is the defensive line. Cameron Wake, Mario Williams, and Ndamukong Suh and Andre Branch. Each of those names come with a high expectation of success from past NFL seasons or based on potential. With both those names have question mark. Wake coming off of an Achilles tear, he's 34 years old. Williams had a miserable season last year with Buffalo Bills.
He sure did.
He was playing out of position as linebacker rather than a 4-3 defensive end.
Which I never understood that.
So played well last year, but many were frustrated that he was not the dominant player that the contract seems to suggest he would be with the Dolphins. He'd even make the Pro Bowl. A chip I'm sure that will be on his shoulder. And Branch never materialized into the pass rusher that the Jacksonville Jaguars hoped he would be. Now in Miami, he'll try to find a replacement for Derek Shelby as a third defensive end. Everything this offseason seems to say that these pieces will come together and the Dolphins' defensive line will be dominant, but they look like that last year, and we have not seen them in years. This year in pads. And then notable injuries heading into training camp. Cameron Wake, who we just mentioned, he's recovering from Achilles tear.
Yeah, he's been hurt for a while.
Kenyon Drake has a hamstring strain. Devontae Parker, they're not saying why he's hurt. And Mike Pouncey is recovering from offseason hip surgery.
It seems like anybody with the last name Pouncey is always hurt.
Right. So, what's your prediction, Dolphins this season?
We're
kind of sneaking into your preview a little bit, but
that's
this is a little bit of a sneak peek. It's a bonus of listening to this week's episode.
Yeah. If I'm projecting them right now, I'm saying they're a 6-10 team, just like last year. Just because I want to see what these guys can do, and until they prove to me otherwise, I'm kind of gonna go with a 6-10 prediction, just like last year.
Makes sense. All right, Buffalo Bills.
Oh yeah,
the Buffalo Bills last year 8-8. Notable free agent additions: Sterling Moore, Robert Blanton, Zach Brown, and Lager Duzable. That almost feels like one of those names off of the Key and Peele skit. Lager Duzable. Notable free agent losses: Mario Williams, Nigel Bragum, Leotis McKelvin. They didn't make any trades. They did take Shaq Lawson.
They did.
In the first round. They got a few other people. Biggest... Goddamn, man. Control that thing.
Sorry.
Lost my... So, obviously, Shaq Lawson is going to be the guy that they hope that has the biggest year.
Oh, I think he's going to be huge.
Biggest storyline into training camp, defensive improvement. Rex Ryan didn't have the greatest impact on the Bills' defense a season ago. They have some noteworthy departures and additions. How the defense performs is what everyone will be talking about during Bills' training camp. And I think the underrated story of the line of the year will be the battle for the number 3 wide receiver spot. Sammy Watkins is nursing a broken foot, and Robert Woods is the only decent wideout behind him. Guys realistically battling for the third spot. Jared Boykin, Greg Little, Greg Salas, Leonard Hankerson, Walt Powell, and rookie Colby Listenby. Only big notable injuries heading into training camp: Sammy Watkins with his foot and Shaq Lawson with a shoulder.
Sammy Watkins is always hurt.
That dude, so much potential. He's the Derrick Rose of the NFL.
Seriously. I
well,
had him...
Maybe not. Maybe that's Robert Griffin III.
Yeah.
But he's right up there with them.
Oh, absolutely. I had him in, I believe, 2 fantasy leagues last year.
I've had him in every year since he's come out. I've had him. I'm just like, come on, man.
Come on. Be worth your worth there. Whatever that means.
What's your thought on the Bills this year?
I think the Bills are going to be very improved. I think they will, out of that whole group of guys you just mentioned, will find that third wide receiver. I think Leonard Hankerson might be that guy out of all those guys you mentioned. I actually do think Tyrod Taylor is a pretty decent quarterback.
Oh, without a doubt. And then they have EJ Manuel in the wings there as well.
Yeah.
If you looked at our pick'em from last season, every week it seemed like I was picking the Bills to finally break out. I have a lot of hope in that team.
Yeah.
If this year, if Greg and I pick new teams again, I may hope to pick the Bills because God forbid I don't want to be a Niners fan again this year.
By the way, the Bills are the only team to not make the playoffs so far in the 21st century.
Good Lord.
Their last appearance was 1999. I was a senior in high school back then.
That's crazy. So what's your prediction for the Buffalo Bills?
I'm thinking a 9-7 year from them. I did predict that last year when it was a little off, but
they went 8-8.
Yeah, they went 8-8. I think they have a 9-7 record in them. Definitely.
All right, the New York Jets finished the year last year at 10-6. I think they had the best offseason of almost any team in football.
They had a very good one.
Notable additions: Matt Forte, Kerry Robinson, Steve McClendon. They lost Chris Ivory, Damon Harrison, Demario Davis. They acquired Ryan Clady from Denver for a late-round pick. They drafted Darren Lee, Jarvis Jenkins. So, adding Matt Forte is huge.
Yeah.
The Jets offense took off in November as Bilo Powell emerged as the third option in the passing game. The Jets re-signed Powell to continue contributing out of the backfield, but they also added one of the most decorated pass-catching backs in the league today. And they made a big move to solidify what they're doing there. They still have Brendan Marshall. They still have the white guy,
Eric Decker.
Yeah. And they re-signed Ryan Fitzpatrick finally.
Finally.
So now they have a quarterback to throw to those guys.
Jeez, what took so long?
And that's chemistry that those guys were worried that they weren't going to have. It's gonna be good. So I know you don't even like to think about the Jets having a successful year, but how do you feel about the Jets?
I think they're a very good team. They have a great coach in Todd Bowles. They were so close to getting into the playoffs last year. I thought they had every reason to be in the playoffs, and to see them not make the playoffs last year was actually, I was a little bummed out by that because I would have liked to have seen them. I thought they were good enough to make the playoffs. I think they're gonna have a very good year.
What's your prediction?
I'm gonna say 10-6.
So they're gonna repeat last year, hopefully make the playoffs?
Yeah.
All right. And the one that you care about the most, the New England Patriots. Finished the year 12-4, made it into the playoffs. AFC Championship game, right?
We did, yeah.
Against Denver?
Yeah.
And then Peyton Manning got you.
Peyton Manning got us bad.
Have you seen the new DirecTV commercials with
yes,
Peyton?
He's on Sunday. Yeah, Peyton on Sunday morning.
Yeah, it's like Peyton on Sunday morning.
And Lionel Richie looks like he's came straight out of 1983 again.
Dude, he had so much plastic surgery.
Oh my gosh, he looked like his 80s self there.
My favorite one though so far, like I've seen the one in the grocery store. He's like,
that's the only one I've seen.
He's standing there in the grocery store. He's like, number 18. Hold on, I gotta pull those up. We could do the audio of them because they're amazing.
I've only heard the one so far.
Totally worth me finding these real quick here. Dude, that cough, it's gotta go.
I know. The worst thing you can get in the summertime is a cold. And unfortunately it happened to me and it sucks.
Alright, so Peyton Manning commercials from 2016. Dude, these are hilarious. So far there's 3 of them.
There's 3? Really?
Mm-hmm.
How come they've only shown me 1?
I don't know. I've seen all 3 of them, and they're hilarious. So you mentioned the one about he's in
the grocery store.
He's in the grocery store. I don't know why my family's out there being so damn loud.
Because that's what families do.
Chicken parm, you taste so good. All right. So the first one, he's sitting in a park in a robe. Yeah. Actually, with the new setup, I can just show you the commercial, right?
Yeah.
Sorry for you guys that are out there in Radio Land, you can't see it, but
it's Peyton. It's Peyton on Sunday morning.
I love
you like football? Yeah. It's DirecTV NFL Sunday Ticket. I can watch every Sunday Ticket game live on any device.
I'm retired. I just sit here watching nothing. If I were you, I'd work as long as you can, son. Work as long as you can.
Get NFL Sunday Ticket only on Direct.
So he's sitting in a park bench in his like plaid robe. It looks like a tablecloth. And there's this older gentleman sitting on there and going to have to add video soon. Yeah, no kidding. And this old guy's like, I sit there and watch nothing. It's like sadness. And then...
If you're Peyton Manning, you don't need clothes anyway.
Right. And this one's a grocery store one.
This is the one I've seen. That's how this one
It's Peyton. It's Peyton on Sunday morning.
You know, with DirecTV NFL Sunday Ticket, you can watch your favorite team no matter where you live, like Broncos or Colts.
Cool.
18, the old number.
He's still in the robe, by the way.
Ooh, I have got a coupon for that one.
Get NFL Sunday Ticket only on Direct.
Having worked in a grocery store for 7 years, that one's funny to me because I would love for that to happen to me.
And this is my favorite one of them all. He's sitting on the couch, still in his plaid robe. It's the best one.
It's Peyton. It's Peyton on Sunday morning.
E-Man.
What up, Peyton?
You know I have DirecTV NFL Sunday Ticket. I get every game, every Sunday, all in HD.
Yeah, I know that.
So you want to come over? I'll make nachos.
I can't right now, man. I'm playing.
Oh, yeah. All right. Pencil you in for Tuesday.
Get NFL Sunday Ticket included at no extra charge.
He forgets that his little brother's playing for the Giants still, and he's like, oh, I'll pencil you in.
As much as I don't like Eli, that's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, I saw those the other day, and I'm like, dude, that's fucking great.
That's one thing I love about football season is the commercials. They're so funny.
Not all of them, though, but anything. I still go back to the MasterCard commercials where it was like, what would you do if you cheered on the everyday person? And he's like, he's at the butcher. And he's like, cut that meat. Cut that meat. And he's outside like the restaurant. They're like the servers are leaving. And he's like, Johnny. And he's like, yeah. And he like throws his apron up to him. He's like, yeah. He gets all excited. Those are the best things ever to me, man.
Yeah.
So now that we've brought your mood up a little bit, talking about your favorite player of all time. Now let's talk about your favorite team, New England Patriots.
Yeah.
They added Chris Long.
That's right, they did.
Shea McClellan, Terrence Knighton, and Chris Hogan. They lost Chandler Jones and Akeem Hicks. They traded for Martellus Bennett.
I was happy about that.
They got Jonathan Cooper, and they got defensive end Chandler Jones. They traded for Chandler Jones.
They traded him to Arizona for some guy.
They drafted Cyrus Jones, Logan Ryan, Joe Thunney, Vincent Valentine, Malcolm Mitchell, and Camu Gruger-Hill. He's going to be a special teamer.
I was actually excited about the Cyrus Jones pickup.
So they bring in Martellus Bennett. Great. I mean, you lose, obviously lose Aaron Hernandez. You have Gronk. You bring in a guy that can really fill in that other side of that offensive or that line with the tight end. It takes a lot of heat off of Gronk. You cannot just slack off and leave Bennett open.
Yeah.
He's going to catch touchdowns all day long. You have the offensive line. And and this thing I'm looking at is like, oh well, can the offensive line hold up? Can the wide receivers fill in the hole? Can the guys stay healthy? There's only two things to me that matter with the Patriots. One is you don't have Tom Brady for the first 4 games.
Right.
Can Johnny Garoppolo keep you guys in the hunt? Because I honestly think if you lose one of those 4 games, or if you only win one of those 4 games, you're in trouble. You have to at least win 2 of those 4.
Right. I think what benefits them is that 3 of those 4 games are at home.
Yep.
The only game that is away is the home or is the season opener at Arizona, which I do think they will lose.
And I like Johnny Garoppolo.
Jimmy
Garoppolo, same thing.
Yeah.
His brother's Johnny. But here's the thing,
he has
though.
a brother? I didn't know that.
Can the Patriots extend all their players? If we look at the 3D depth chart on defense, you see free agents everywhere next season.
Yeah.
Edge defender Jabal Sheard, Rob Ninkovich, and Chris Long, all free agents after the season. At defensive tackle, Alan Branch and Tarek Knighton will be free agents. Linebacker, Dante Hightower, Jamie Collins will be free agents.
Oof.
Cornerback, Logan Ryan will be a free agent, while Malcolm Butler will be a restricted free agent. Duran Harmon will be a free agent at safety.
Yeah.
That's your whole defense.
Yeah. The thing about it is that I don't worry about the secondary as much because they plug guys in there all the time in the secondary.
Here's the crazy thing, though. The Patriots are projected to have the most cap space in the NFL in 2017.
That's actually bizarre to me.
It's not bizarre to me at all. You know why?
Well, because they don't pay anybody.
They don't have to.
They
People
don't. No, they
take
don't.
cuts to play for the sweatshirt.
That's true.
You take a cut to play with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick because they have a dynasty up there that you can win a ring.
Yeah.
Those guys, it's all about unity, man. Biggest injuries, players who didn't participate in minicamp: LeGarrette Blount, Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola, Nate Solder, Sebastian Vollmer. I love this on the injury report. Sebastian Vollmer. So first of all, LeGarrette Blount hip, Julian Edelman foot, Amendola knee, Solder biceps, Sebastian Vollmer everything. He's old. Josh Klein, Trey Jackson, Dion Lewis. All those guys didn't participate in minicamps. So not only do you have like 44 guys that are coming up on free agency, you have a lot of guys that are hurt.
Yeah.
Is there enough right now for the Patriots to tread water?
I think so. I mean, it's not so much the players, it's the system. I mean, you had a guy like Dion Lewis who, for the first half of the season, nobody even heard of, who was making plays and doing great for the team, eventually even earning the starting job for a while. I feel like with these injuries, a lot of these guys will be coming back at some point, probably even during preseason, and like I said, they'll plug guys in there. They'll do the best they can with those guys, and when the regular guys come back, they'll be as good as ever.
Let me ask you this: with our fantasy draft coming up, how do you feel Tom Brady's suspension is going to impact him? So last year, Le'Veon Bell was suspended the first 4 games.
That's right.
Martavius Bryant was suspended the first 4 games. I took Martavius Bryant in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
You have these guys that are suspended, but they're impact players. They still go early.
Right.
Do you think Tom Brady is still a first-round pick in most leagues?
A first-round pick? No.
You think he falls 2nd or maybe even 3rd round?
I'd say 4th.
Okay, so in our league, quarterbacks start going, aside from like Peyton and Brady usually, quarterbacks start going 3rd, 4th, late 3rd, early 4th round for us in the Serpentine. Do you think, though, that Brady stays a top quarterback pick regardless of the suspension, and then you hope you just get a suitable backup, in fantasy terms, a backup for the first 4 weeks?
Sure, absolutely.
Well, 5 weeks, because the bye week's week 5, right?
No, their bye week is I believe. Let me take a look here. I have it.
You already have their schedule printed out?
No, I have. Yeah,
oh, you've already done all your predictions, haven't you?
I've done some of them. Week 9 is their bye.
So, okay.
So they come back week 5, I believe that's against Cleveland week 5.
Oh, well, there's a win.
Yeah. And
but what I'm saying though is like with the 4-game suspension looming, do you think he falls and then you get a late round, you get lucky in the late round and he falls to you, or do you think you just waste an early pick like you would on a quarterback spot, assuming he was going to play, and you just pick up a guy, down the list in a late round that can fill in for 4 games? I mean, assuming you don't have a heavy quarterback league like we do, where Peyton Manning in week 1 of last season or 2 seasons ago put up 115 points because he threw 7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I think there's gonna be a lot of parity in fantasy football with that, because
I think
that's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, if he plays, you obviously take him early. He's one of the top 4 quarterbacks taken fantasy wise. You have Cam Newton. You have Matt Ryan, who's always a big fantasy guy. You have Roethlisberger, who I think you take in front of Brady.
Yeah,
just because
even Matthew Stafford sometimes.
Yeah,
is
Stafford. Those are big fantasy quarterbacks, but Brady's at least top 10.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When it comes to quarterbacks, and it's like, well, shit. Do you take him? Like, do you risk it, or do you get a running back, or do you get another wide receiver that maybe impact, or do you get a high defense? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, totally.
It's a crazy thought to think that Brady may fall like late rounds, simply for the fact that quarterback can be something that you can be protected with,
Yeah. The thing about it is, in past leagues I've done with ESPN, he's been ranked very low. I think last year he was ranked like 106th, like as far as the total players. Yeah. I think a lot of that probably had to do with his suspension, but yeah, he hasn't been ranked as high as he has been in recent years. There have been other quarterbacks who have been ranked higher, like even Russell Wilson was ranked higher, I believe. I mean, fantasy sports, or fantasy football at least, running backs are who you usually target first.
Not in our league.
Really?
Our league's wide receiver, quarterback. It's a very,
they're there. The tailbacks are there.
If you go into our league, you're in the league now, go back and look at last year's draft order. It's pretty crazy. You're like, damn, Like, the number 1 overall pick, I believe, last year was Adrian Peterson, and then Peyton Manning went 3rd. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. I'm thinking what we're going to do. I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do, because I believe that one up there, yeah, that's the 2014 championship flag.
Yeah, I see that.
I lost the 2015 one, which goes to Colinford last season. That one's actually Darren Trojan Horses. I'm thinking as a consolation prize, I got to get Jeff a trophy for last season.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I'm looking at Amazon right now, and they have like a little
I love Amazon.
They have like a little like guy running with a stiff arm with a helmet on, or
like a Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, a little bit. Except, I mean, kinda. You know, it's this little dude right here.
Oh my god, I like some of these.
And then there's like the armchair quarterback one, which I think are the best ones. It's a guy wearing a helmet sitting in a lounge chair.
I like that toilet bowl one.
So the toilet bowl usually goes to the last place team. But Howard Nevins, our old coach or our old co-host, I think I like what his league does the best. They actually go and they buy a real toilet seat, and then they go and they get a little engravement plate made of the last place team. It's like the Sacco in the league, you know. You get a toilet bowl with your name on it.
I like that actually.
So like last year, I tried to get everyone to pitch in like $10 to put toward a trophy. It didn't really go well. Ideally, what I want to do, because we've had the same people year after year, is I want to get one of these, and I'll show you this because it's pretty cool, but they're kind of on the pricey side. Is they sell fantasy football championship belts.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
And they're like $100.
Oh wow.
Some of them, but like they're like this right here. You get a championship ring.
Oh hey.
For $30.
That's not bad.
And like, you know, it'd be kind of cool to have a little case it just sits on. You know what I mean? Like the Giants replica rings, like I have up there on the shelf.
Oh, those are neat.
So I may get something like that, you know, this year, and a little something different. You know, keep everyone's skin in the game a little bit. Make them excited. Like, that's cool, but I don't know where 15s is, and I feel bad for Jeff, so maybe I'll get him something else.
Yeah.
But it's going to be another year, man. Another fun one. Mike Barnbaum will be there on the 28th at Buffalo
I get to
Wild
finally
Wings,
meet him, too.
Citrus Heights. So if you haven't met Barnbaum and you want to come and watch the draft and just kind of BS with us out on the patio, you're more than welcome to. A couple years ago, we did a live show out there, and it just didn't really work that well. Although, with our setup now, it may work. We may be able to do a live show out there if we have speakers.
That'd be fun, yeah. Mike, I'm excited to meet you, buddy.
I may look into that with Veroza and do like a live draft pre-show or like a live draft show even. We'll see about that. But TJ, that's what we have for tonight. So I really do appreciate you coming out again and taking out some time of your night. I do have one final thing for you with fantasy football coming up. Last year you took over a team mid-year. Well, beginning of the year.
Yeah.
You just missed the draft essentially.
Yeah, I was out of town that day anyway.
Well, and you know, our former co-host quit the league right after we drafted. He quit the day after our draft. Essentially the same day he quit the show. And so you gracefully slid in and took over his team. Yeah. Which originally was called Tom Brady's Deflated Balls, and you changed the name to JPP's Firework Company.
Yes, I did.
So I have to ask, what are you looking at team name this year? You sticking parody? You gonna go with something normal like TJ the Sports Geek?
I've had a couple of them. I was actually thinking about this today. I had a few like one of them I believe was Ladies and Edelman, Ice Cold Brewskis.
Nice.
Or my Richardson is pitching a Trent was another one that I was looking at. I thought that was pretty funny.
So if we pull up DrOdd.com, they do a list of fantasy team names here. Let's go through some of these, see what you think. Monte Ball So Hard.
I've seen. Oh, I saw some of these. Yeah.
My Crabtree Itches.
I like that one.
Cromartie Gras.
I like that one too.
Monte Can You Buy Happiness? I don't understand that one.
I think that's Monte Ball.
Stop Flynn the Name of Love. You Kaepernick the Future. My Poop is Ronnie and Brown. That's a good one.
Good pun one.
Who Turned Off My Tebow? Will Fork for Food. That's a good one.
I like that one too. I was looking at that one.
Badonka Gronk.
That's
a good one. Badonka Gronk.
Badonka Gronk.
Let's see. Bust a Kaepernick in your ass. I'm Vic and tired. Let's see. The Johnny Cleveland Show. Manny's O-Face. Wham Bam Michael Sam. Dude, you're getting Odell. Ooh, he got hurt today.
Oh, that's right.
Odell hurt his leg
man.
today.
That may hinder my New York Giants prediction a little bit.
On her Breeze for Woodhead.
Those are all good, but JVP Fireworks Company is one that I came up on my own.
I came up with Beats by Ray on my own last year.
Yeah.
And I photoshopped the logo of the Beats by Dre, and I put the fist in there, and that was all on my own making. I came up with my team name for this year, too, as well as my logo, which you can see here.
I love this.
So, as we know, Chip Kelly took over for the 49ers. And as we know, the 49ers, who today opened camp, and Kelly had Kaepernick and Gabbert splitting first-team reps, which doesn't make me feel good at all. He needs to establish a starting quarterback and let them learn his fucking crazy-ass offense. But in the light of Chip Kelly and what's going on with the team, I've decided that Beats by Ray has been retired, and this year's team name is the San Francisco 4th and Niners.
I love this.
Because we're going to punt.
A fucking punter!
He's going to be our best player on the team again this year.
Pinion?
Bradley Pinion. I wonder if we could set up points for punting. I would take Bradley Pinion in the first round.
Yeah.
It's going to be ridiculous.
That would be amazing. When you showed me that, when you texted me that picture the other day, I was like, yes, that's awesome.
It's basically the fourth down marker with upset, almost like crying Jordan, but with Chip Kelly's face on it.
Did you see the picture of Chip Kelly going back to pass today?
No, I didn't.
Oh my god, he's got a spare tire like nobody's
Good
business.
Lord, whatever.
And there was a picture also of Tony Romo looking a little heavy at camp too.
Well, he just got back from ovarian cancer, so just kidding. With that being said, though, I'm looking forward to fantasy football again this year. We got a really good group of people in our league. It's the 4th year now we've done this league. Aside from maybe 3 people that are no longer part of it, Howard, a girl named Jen, Eddie, Anissa, the 4 people. That's it. We've had the same group since day one. Well, my wife was in it last year. Since day one.
Is she going to be in this year?
No, she decided not to do it this year. She's just going to kind of be idling by. And then we get to have Barn Bomb at the event.
Man.
I'll bring my cornhole boards again like I did last year. We'll toss the cornhole around a little bit.
That'll be fun.
Might look into maybe doing a show. We'll see. We can even live broadcast the show on YouTube or.
We did that once at KSSU when I was first there. It was a lot of fun.
I was thinking we could even do a YouTube live or a Facebook live from the page and just set up a tripod or something out there and do it. We'll do something fun for those of you that aren't going to be out there, but it's an open invite. So if you want to come out and watch and hang out with us,
come and see us.
Come out and see us on the show. You're more than welcome to do so. But for TJ and for Greg Veroza, who should be back next week, assuming I don't die in Patterson in my Battle Frog race, it's going to be hot. So hot that I bought SPF 100 sunscreen today.
I didn't know SPF went that high.
Yeah, it's got 80 minutes of water and sweat resistance. I'm like, holy crap!
That's a lot of minutes.
It's like rubbing motor oil on your skin. But I don't know. We'll see how that goes. That's Battle Frog next week in San Jose. But yeah, on behalf of you, I appreciate it again. And Greg, I'm Greg, and we will be back with episode 22 next week.
See ya
later.